I've had two queries about the last plane I made concerning the thickness of the metal of the bridge. One bloke said, "That looks, how wide is that piece of bronze? It looks very wide." Well, it's 3/16 of an inch, the same as the sole, but it looks thicker because it's on the angle. Generally speaking, an English mitre plane has 1/8 of an inch sides, nearly always, and anything varying from about 5/32 to 3/16 sole. That is what they used. So that's what I used. Very often they would have 1/8 of an inch bridge. Towel. There's two towel planes here. A smallish one, 6 inches, and a full size one. We're in each. Right, these two towel planes, one full size and one small, 1/8 of an inch body, both of them, 1/8 of an inch body, thicker, about approaching 3/16, 5/32 soles, 1/8 of an inch bridge on both of them, 1/8 of an inch bridge. Now Towel put his Cupid bows at the bottom, and so did some of the other plane makers. Also some of the early mitre plane makers at a later date started to put the Cupid bows on top, different fancy bridges. This, for instance, has a sort of a Cupid bow on the top. So there are variations. But generally speaking, that is a typical English early mitre plane. And the query was, I've told you, the thickness, mine looks to be thicker. Now, on the one that I've just made, this one, it's 3/16, but compared to one I made a few years ago, this is just by coincidence, these are the same size, but that bronze looks thinner than that because it's the angle of the bridge. This bridge is lower than that one. So consequently, if you've got it horizontal at the top, you're going to have more metal showing. Right, so that's that. And he also said, how do you work the bridge? Do you set it out, or do you do it with the eye? Well, I do it with my eye mainly. What I do is, suppose this is the bridge, and if any of these bridges, whatever angle that was when I set it out, say that was 30 degrees, set that at 30 degrees, you can put your beveling in, put a line on it and just set that at 30 degrees, so that when you've worked horizontally, this pattern will be horizontal where you want it. It doesn't have to be horizontal, but in this instance it is. So, what I do is, all I do is I measure centre of the bridge. This represents the bridge cut to width, size and everything else, and now I've got to do the Cupid bow. So I'll measure the centre. I'm just doing it freehand. Say that this is the centre. That's the line I'll work to. Then what I do is, you can give this a bit of a nick with a hacksaw blade to give you a start. Get a 3-cornered file, and what I always aim to do is, I always aim to work horizontal or vertical. So my saw cuts are always vertical even if I'm doing a dovetail, I'll put the metal in so that the cuts are vertical or work horizontal, and this is horizontal obviously, so all the strokes you do are freehand but horizontal. So you do a V, or at least I do, so it finishes up, you know, after you've done it, a V shape. Now this is an exceptionally wide piece of metal. My bridges are normally a lot less than that. We'll say this piece of metal is about that size, bridge size, something like that. Then this line here now represents the end of the bridge. I then get a round file. This is a saw sharpening file. I've got two sizes. This is about 3/16 and I've got one slightly bigger. So that edge there now is here. So what I do is, with my eye, I want about a 1/16 of metal leaving in either side. So just with my eye, I can see that's a 1/16. I'm looking down, I can see I've got a 1/16 of metal. I do that. I do the same the other side, but I've now reduced it to a smaller imaginary width. So I'm doing it freehand, but bear in mind it'll be these two bits I'm really working through. I'm just doing that freehand just to show you what I do like. A 1/16 of an inch in again from the end. Do them till they go right down to horizontal. I stop filing when whatever shape I'm doing, the V or the half round, gets down to the rear of the metal. Lost a plane. So this back line here is the back line there, and I file horizontal to that. And when I've done that, I just get various files. I often use this one, but you can use a 3-cornered file or a flat file. And then freehand, I just take that round till it hits that back thing again, take that round till they meet up, and you've got your Cupid bow, you know, like that. Doesn't show up very well, but you know what I think you know what I'm saying. The idea is work horizontal. Also, when you work in metal, I find you've got to have your vice eye. It's no good trying to do this, I can't do it anyway, in a low vice on a carpenter's bench. You can't give it that, you've got to have it up here so you know everything's working horizontal.